2024 July 16. Daily Bread Passage. 1 Samuel chapter 21 verse 1 to 15. Keyverse. Verse 6. Title: David, a fearful fugitive. David went to Nob, to Ahimelek the priest. Ahimelek trembled when he met him, and asked, "Why are you alone? Why is no one with you?" David answered Ahimelek the priest, "The king sent me on a mission and said to me, 'No one is to know anything about the mission I am sending you on. As for my men, I have told them to meet me at a certain place. Now then, what do you have on hand? Give me 5 loaves of bread, or whatever you can find.' But the priest answered David, 'I don't have any ordinary bread on hand, however, there is some consecrated bread here, provided the men have kept themselves from women.' David replied, 'Indeed women have been kept from us, as usual whenever I set out. The men's bodies are holy even on missions that are not holy. How much more so today?' So the priest gave him the consecrated bread, since there was no bread there except the bread of the presence that had been removed from before the Lord and replaced by hot bread on the day it was taken away. Now one of Saul's servants was there that day, detained before the Lord. He was Doeg the Edomite, Saul's chief shepherd. David asked Ahimelek, 'Don't you have a spear or a sword here?' 'I haven't brought my sword or any other weapon, because the king's mission was urgent.' The priest replied, 'The sword of Goliath the Philistine, whom you killed in the valley of Elah, is here. It is wrapped in a cloth behind the ephod. If you want it, take it. There is no sword here but that one.' David said, 'There is none like it, give it to me.' That day David fled from Saul and went to Achish king of Gath. But the servants of Achish said to him, 'Isn't this David, the king of the land? Isn't he the one they sing about in their dances, Saul has slain his thousands, and David his tens of thousands?' David took these words to heart and was very much afraid of Achish king of Gath. So he pretended to be insane in their presence, and while he was in their hands he acted like a madman, making marks on the doors of the gate and letting saliva run down his beard. Achish said to his servants, 'Look at the man. He is insane. Why bring him to me? Am I so short of madmen that you have to bring this fellow here to carry on like this in front of me? Must this man come into my house?' Chapter 21 begins David's long refuge from Saul's pursuit. He first went to Nob, to Ahimelek, the priest who was unaware of Saul's outburst toward David. David lied about his situation to gain food and weapons from Ahimelek. It is unknown whose side Ahimelek would have taken. But because of David's lie, his willingness to help brought a disaster onto his household. Later, Jesus mentioned this incident as one of helping the hungry over religious rituals, yet David's deception was not honorable. David went into the Philistine territory to avoid Saul's pursuit. But in Gath, Goliath's hometown, he realized people had heard how he had slain the Philistines. He was afraid and pretended insanity to escape the unwanted attention. Through this low point in his life, he understood the Lord's mercy and deliverance of the poor and brokenhearted. Through this painful time, the Lord was molding David to be a king who understands the fragile nature of human glory and the fear of God. Prayer. Father, I am weak and fearful before the world that is like a roaring lion. Yet I am comforted knowing that you keep me close to you. Please protect my heart today so that I may fear none other than you. One word. Fearing God is true wisdom.